Hey guys, what is going on? It's XCKJ here, and I wanted to bring to you the best champions to play for patch 3.3 Darkness and Dragons update. I'm going to pick my top 3 champs in every role. That way it gets to give you some options. If something gets banned and you still want something to play, you still have an option to do that. Or if you're just not vibing with one of the champions, go right ahead and pick one of the other champions in that role. Right now, there's a lot of really great picks, so if something on the list is not what you personally are playing, or you think that something else is really good, by all means, keep on playing the thing that is working for you. This is just a guide for the average player who's trying to find something for every role. Before we jump into the video, I just want to ask you guys to like and subscribe. It goes a super long way, every like that you guys leave, and so I greatly appreciate it. But without further ado, let's jump right into it, starting with the point tanks. First, we have Barrack. Barrack kills it right now with crazy sustain and damage. What you're going to play is Architectonics and plant both of your turrets right next to you. You'll do a ton of damage, and also you'll be super hard to kill. Just with both your turrets acting as totems, healing you up, you heal up your turrets. His dash makes him very slippery, and with the reset on his dash, you get the extra shield twice, and he's crazy right now. He's also great because the enemy team might have to buy Bulldozer just to deal with you, and then they lose an entire item slot and have to spend the money on buying Dozer, and at the same time, they're going to want to buy Wrecker to deal with all the shields that you have. So that is why I'm putting him first on the list. Second on the list, we have Terminus. Terminus has been very strong for a while now, and he still is. Term is a great counter to Barrack. So just run the Siphon Reset build, and you're going to absorb so much damage. He's a good counter to Barrack because you could just build Dozer, and literally, if you have Dozer 3, you will just destroy his ult in 2 seconds. Just walk straight up to his ult, just chop that thing down, you will destroy it in 2 seconds. Some counters to watch out for when playing Terminus is Khan and Rom. Anybody with a stun really that can get past your Siphon just really hurts a lot. You'll go down pretty quickly, so just buy some Rezil against them and try to keep your distance from somebody like Khan, for instance. On to the third point tank on the list. We have Inara. Inara is great because of Mother's Grace. Mother's Grace allows you to be CC immune. In this meta, CC immunity is huge. Add that with high damage reduction, and you'll have a killer point tank. Her wall is great, and she has a slow, so great utility there for controlling the point. Try not to activate all your abilities at the same time and juggle her abilities. Juggling her abilities will allow you to always have an ability on an ability up, and it's just great for defense, especially juggling Mother's Grace and the wall. And even in the build that I just showed you guys, in that deck, there is a little bit, it's like 4% or something like that, damage reduction if you're standing inside the flower. So even that is giving you some sort of sustain. So I usually like to use Mother's Grace and then the wall and the flower at the same time, or something along those lines. You'll figure out just a good way to play her. I think she's really strong right now, and a good Inara will carry any game. With the point tanks being over, before we get into the off tanks, I just want to let you guys know if you have any questions about how to play any of these champions, I go live on twitch.tv/xckj 3 times at least a week. So if you go and see me there streaming, feel free to ask me how to play any of the champions. I'd be more than happy to tell you. Moving on to the off tanks. First on the list, we have Ashe. You're going to be playing Battering Ram. Ashe is so strong right now. She is just able to knock around her enemies, literally knock around her enemies. She has a ton of control, just zoning tools. She has health back now. When she hits her right click, you can untoggle her right click now, but she was good even before she was able to untoggle her right click. Just overall, she's great. She has good shield. She has an amazing ult. She has great damage. She is a blaster, so people can't just buy Haven and deal with everybody at once. If they want to not die to you, they're going to have to buy blast shields, and usually a lot of times your damages will just be Haven damages. So Ashe is a great pick. I love her on off tank right now. Second on the list, we have Khan, Vortex Grip. CC right now is insane. So you have your ult, which is amazing on Khan. You have your Vortex Grip, which is amazing. Your shield is great. Your Battle Shout is amazing, being able to make you damage immune and give you health back. Khan, his kit is just very strong. He's been great for a long time. He'll continue to be great. picking him into people like Terminus, people like Rom. He just counters so many people right now. When you play him into Rom, even, you could just go Morale Boost 3 and just keep on shooting and ulting the Rom just constantly. The Rom will get super peeved off about it. Which brings us into our third off-tank pick, which is going to be Rom on Juggernaut. Juggernaut's a talent you're going to take because the damage reduction is awesome. The one thing you have to watch out for when playing Rom is any sort of CC on the enemy team. CC is very strong against you, so Genos, Khan, all that kind of stuff will really hurt you a lot. Right when they see you about to dash, they're just going to stun you, and then you won't get your damage reduction. You can't escape. When everybody turns on you, he is very tanky until everybody turns on you and shoots you at once. So just keep that in mind when playing Rom. But for the most part, what you're going to do is you're just going to dash right into their back line, try to get a kill, and then just dip right on out. He is able to sit in your back line, sit in their back line, even sit on the point, and he'll be great no matter where you put him. So with all that being said, any off-tank in the game right now I feel like is super viable. So if you're vibing with someone else, just keep it up. Keep on playing that other off-tank. And that pertains to anything, of course, on this list. Moving on to damages. First on the list, I have Bomb King. Royal Subject is the talent you are going to be taking. I have Bomb King on the list simply because, first off, he's a shield melter. Second off, he has CC in his kit. Third, he has decent mobility if you're using his Poppy Bomb correctly. He does a ton of damage. Royal Subjects just allows him to be a little bit more forgiving, especially to people who are just learning him. But even the pro players are playing Royal Subjects. Everybody is playing Royal Subjects, so don't feel like, oh, this is just the noob talent, and then eventually I'll work my way up to Accelerant or something like that. Don't get me wrong, the fast stun is great, and chain reaction or whatever the heck the other talent is, that one is kind of bugged. I don't know if it still is, but it was bugged for a long time, so probably don't play that one, just because sometimes it just does not work. But yeah, don't feel like you're being a noob picking Royal Subjects. That was what that entire thing I was just trying to tell you. He's super strong, does a lot of damage, melt shields. He's just really good pick, and his ult is insane. So that is why Bomb King is first on the list. Second on the list is Leon, and the talent you will be picking is Eminence. Leon is a mix of Haven and Blast Shield damage, and she is super, super strong. Being able to stay far away from the enemy team and just be a strong sniper, hit scan, deals a crap ton of damage, literally has auto aim built into her kit, and she's hit scan. So those two things together make her super easy for a new player to get into playing her. Her positioning, you can just focus on positioning really, and then from there on out, yeah, you could just slaughter the enemy team. I don't know what else needs to be said about Leon. She just is super strong right now. Her ult is great, and she has escaped the Nerf Hammer for quite a while now. So while she keeps on escaping the Nerf Hammer, just keep on playing her. Third on the list is going to be Tyra, and the talent you are going to be taking with Tyra is Burn Monster. I know, that is insane. People have started playing Mercy Kill on Tyra as their main talent, with a damage reduction built in, and she becomes very unkillable. For me, I think for the sake of this list, Burn Monster is the go-to still. And the reason why I think Burn Monster is the go-to still, it's super annoying for the enemy team to deal with. All you need to do is throw Burn Monster on the point and then just shoot people. That's all you need to do in order to be good at Burn Monster. Mercy Kill is a little bit more, it's not complicated, it just has a little bit more skill to it. When you're playing Burn Monster, you can be super impactful, win the game, and all you have to do is throw your bomb on the point and stand in the back line and just shoot people with your machine gun. It's a very simple, very easy, so that is why I'm keeping Burn Monster on the top of the list. That's why I think Tyra is going to be great. Now, moving on to the healers. This was super hard to pick the healers as they've been changed so drastically this patch. This patch was a healer update, kind of switch around. As you guys know, in Season 3, they changed all the healers around, so they're still trying to find out exactly where they want the healers to be. With that being said, it was hard for me to pick the healer list, but I think I figured out a good one. I'm leaving Corvus off the list as you cannot play him in ranked yet, and I wanted this list to more help people out in ranked, and I think just saying Corvus is kind of just a throwaway for one of the options. So first on the list is going to be Ying playing Life Exchange. It's tried and true. It is good. It always has been good. And in this time of everything changing, Ying is just a solid healer to fall back on. She has great heals. She is lacking in CC, but I think you can make up for the CC in other parts of your team. For instance, the Bomb King, for instance, the Khan, for instance, the Rom. You can make up for the CC on other parts of your team, and you could get away with just having a really good healer. Her ult is great for pushing. She has clones that heal, forces the other team to buy some Bulldozer. Might not be the best combo to play with somebody like a Barrack, but with that being said, you could still make it work. So that is why I'm putting Ying first on the list. Second on the list is Furia. The talent you're going to be playing is Cherish. She did get nerfed very hard, but I think she's still strong. There's decks that you could be playing on Furia where you lose Wraith slower, so you could still be putting out the damage, getting your ult super fast. You're still going to be starting out Chronos when you play Furia. They did nerf her, and I think that it will put her in her respective place. And the same is almost with Genos. They nerfed Genos, but he still is just as strong as he was. With that being said, moving on to the third pick, it is not Genos, it is Grover. And I picked Grover because of his talent, Deep Roots. Deep Roots is insane. Being able to root multiple people on the enemy team is crazy. Allows your team to get some free shots on people and potentially kill them, hopefully, to that person, whether it be a tank, a flank, anything like that. He has a lot of mobility, he has decent heals, he has a great ult. His ult counters almost any ult in the game, so he's just super strong in that sense. Moving on, I have decided to make a little healers to watch right now, and so that would include Damba, Genos, Grok, and IO. All of them got changes this patch, so all of them are going to be playing differently. Some of them got nerfs, some of them got buffs. As this split keeps on moving on, just keep an eye on these healers. If you see people playing a lot of Damba and he's doing really good, then just start playing Damba. Copy their builds that they're running and then just play the Damba. If you start seeing somebody rise up and start being the forefront on a lot of teams, just start copying their play styles. Last but not least, we are going to be looking at the flanks. Now, flanks are super dependent on two things, the team comp and the map. So it is very hard for me to pick flanks, but with that being said, first I have Xin playing Guillotine. Xin is just super strong. He has mobility, he has a counter, he can just dash around, he can literally get across, he can just get wherever the heck he needs to be with taking minimal damage and get the kill. Guillotine, he literally will secure the kill on anyone as long as they don't have any damage reduction on them or any healing on them. You will kill anyone with Guillotine. So if you're in a 1v1, you're stuck, you're about to die, you just guillotine that person and you kill them. That's as easy as it is. Plus you can use Guillotine or you can use your ult more or less to get into different high ground areas that you need to get to if you don't want it, and then you get a percentage of it back, and plus you charge it faster. I think Xin is just a super strong flank right now. Second on the list, we have Androxus. The Androxus talent that you're going to be playing is Cursed Revolver. Cursed Revolver is just super strong. You're able to hit a ton of damage in headshots and even body shots. He has a lot of mobility. You're going to be playing him as a little bit slower than you see a lot of Androxus players. Play him more in the back line and just deal some consistent damage onto the point, onto when you see the flank dive into the back line, hey, you can kill that flank and then just keep on damaging the points. His ult is very strong if it's used correctly, and then just wait for that perfect moment sitting in the back line for the healer to move out of place or for their damage to move out of place, and then dive straight in, get that kill. But don't be that Androxus player that from the start of the round just bam, dives straight into the back line and just dies off the bat, or gets a kill and then dies and then just lets their entire team down. It's never fun to have an Andro like that on your team, but that can go for any of these champions, of course. Third on the list, this is crazy that I'm adding this to the list, is Maeve. Cat Burglar Maeve. The reason why I put Maeve on this list is because of her damage. She's able to sit in the back line, kind of play the exact same way as Andro. you can just sit in the back line, deal some damage until you see somebody move out of place, and then just take advantage of them moving out of place, deal the damage on them, and then just go right back to the back line and keep on dealing consistent damage. I think that she does a lot of damage from the back line. And because of that, I think she's a strong flank. I think all the flanks that need to full commit and be really close, like, for instance, Buck and things like that, are good, but they have a very certain place. People like Maeve, you don't have to have that same playstyle as Buck, where Buck is just an all-in kind of champion, which is good in high elos and low elos, but in that mid elo, where you're not the best and your enemy's not the best and everybody's just not the best, but they're like pretty decent. I think playing a more passive playstyle honestly will get you many more wins than playing a very aggressive playstyle and potentially just feeding into the enemy team. That is my top picks for champions in patch 3.2, Darkness and Dragons update. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.